On July 29, 2014, the California State Water Board approved emergency regulations to ensure agencies and state residents increase water conservation. The delicate desert ecosystem of the Antelope Valley is in trouble. Some say the climate change is brought on by people. It could be. Water for the Antelope Valley is brought in from the Feather River down the aqueduct and splits into a Y, some of it going into the San Fernando Valley, and the other part going into the Silver Creek. Our backyard is watered by a well. Other water comes from the rain and waters the desert. There is no water brought into the desert except what falls. People have always thought that you can anticipate the future by the past. It's no longer so. It's time to make plans so that you know if there's going to be a drought, you can have water stored for the future. Elizabeth Lake is completely dry. You can walk across it. Eventually it will refill. But meanwhile, there could be water stored so that the lake could be kept at least at a minimum level. Here's Lake Palmdale. It's a little low, but it still has water in it. And there's hope because there are clouds going above the lake. Hopefully it's going to rain, and when it does, of course, we hope that the drought ends. They don't anticipate it until October, and they can't really be sure that October will bring an end to it. The Antelope Valley Board of Trade has plans for underground water storage in the future. It is being done as we speak. Hopefully it will solve our future problems.
I've gotten calls about Charlie Road. Unfortunately, the ones I've gotten have to do with the private roads. And that's not within, it's a private road. It's not a county road, therefore there's no traffic control. And even those signs that people put up that say 10 miles an hour, they don't mean anything. I can't enforce those. So they either have to become part of the county system, or we just have to catch somebody doing something reckless and then I can do something about it. Or CHP can do something about it. So since traffic is their thing, I just drive around. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I got a couple of calls about some of the private roads that are definitely private roads. I've explained to the people, you know, well, here's what happens when you're on a private road. And also too, in the county, in the highway code, for like residential area, it's something like 16 houses per quarter mile. I don't think we meet that anywhere in Acton or Agua Dulce to qualify for the residential speed. So what you have to do is people have to lobby the Public Works, Rosalind's not here, and they can adjust that limit and make it low if they feel they need to. Unfortunately, sometimes I've seen they do those speed surveys and they up the speed limit. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there.
The other thing was that, did you hear about letters being sent out with false heading? In other words, like an official letter from the highway patrol or the county to a particular resident. I mean, that's what I heard, something about that, and apparently it didn't happen. I mean, have you heard? Have you haven't officially received a letter or a copy of a letter that was sent out or anything?
No, that's why to me it's information only. I have not seen it, I've heard of it. It's been spoken to someone else at our office about that subject, but I have not seen anything.
So I haven't seen it, I've just heard about it, but that's why I was wondering if anybody's ever actually seen this letter, and it sounds like it may not exist.
And if they do exist, then we certainly encourage you to bring it to our attention.
Okay, great.
I have not heard of that. Okay. However, there is a scam going around, and I will let people know because I'm currently written a report on one. Somebody is on the phone saying is Lieutenant so-and-so from the LA County Sheriff's Department, and you have missed your jury duty appointment, and there's now a warrantless system for your arrest. And there's a citizen here who basically spent $1,500 to get himself off a warrant list. Well, first of all, we don't call you and tell you there's a warrantless system because you missed jury duty. That won't happen. Ever.
You just come and get them, right?
I'm just going to get you. You know, we have had people who miss jury duty, and the judge will say, go to their house and pick them up and bring them back. And we do come to the house and pick you up and give you a nice ride in a nice county car and put you in front of the judge, and then you have to explain, why don't I go to jury duty? But we don't put a warrant, and we certainly don't ask for those little green dot 7-Eleven pay cards, which is what they ask me for. They say, we only accept those when people go to 7-Eleven, spend cash, and then read the numbers over the phone. It will never, ever, 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 ever happen. So just be aware that people are doing that scam in this area, and they're saying they're from the department, and they want you to send money. We don't do that. And especially if the name sounds wrong, that, you know, it doesn't sound like a real name. That some of them do, they have that. They also have the crime reports for July and August. And we have 11 in July and 8 in August. July kind of was high all over the county, so it was there. But some of these, just bear with me, I'm just reading what's here. We had one worthless document forgery. We had a non-aggravated domestic violence assault, one. We had one Schedule 4 narcotic barbiturate arrest. One drunk alcohol. One suspected child abuse report. One suspicious circumstance, possible criminal activity, which means we don't know if there's enough there, but we will take a look at it. We can develop that. One fire report. So, because in case anybody doesn't know, if the fire is suspicious, Sheriff's Department does the report. Our arson guys come out and they do the investigation for county fire. So if it's over a certain dollar value, or if the captain on scene says, you know what, this is suspicious, we now write a report. And then it goes to wherever reports go downtown. They come out and do their thing. Let's see. We had one suicide adult, one suicide by juvenile, one vehicle repossessed, and one recovered vehicle that was stolen. That was July. August, which I haven't seen out here in a while, we had 3 residential burglaries. And they were all unknown time, entry by no force. Unknown times mean the owner could have been on vacation and somebody showed up between this time and this time. So we can't pin it down. And no force means the door was open or a window was open or not secured properly and they were able to lift it. We've had some that go through the garage door because people don't lock those. Thinking, oh, they won't go through. Well, they go right through there and then into the house. So we've had 3 of those. One sex crime, one trespassing, one found and recovered piece of property, one person dead of natural causes, and one vehicle repossessed. So that's pretty much all we had, which is good.